Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or hello if you're new. If you are, thank you so much for clicking on this video. It's so nice to meet you. Today's video, as you can probably tell by the title, is a baby must-have video. I haven't done one of these since Heidi was newborn. I intended to do one for every developmental stage, but honestly time just ran away from me and I completely forgot. So today I kind of wanted to run through baby products that I could not live without, basically from the past couple of months. I'd say from, I'm not sure, like 9 months onwards or something around that to now. She's roughly 15 months old now, which is so scary. So I kind of wanted to sit down and talk you through so many products that we have been loving for her. I've not done many kind of baby videos for a while, and I just wanted to sit down and chat you through products that have genuinely saved our life over the last couple of months, products that Heidi absolutely loves, and things that we would really recommend to people that are coming to this kind of stage in your baby's life. Obviously having a young one is so exciting, but you get so overwhelmed with products that you think that you might need and things that you might not use but think you do need. So these types of videos I hope will kind of, you can use them as inspiration to actually decide on the things that you really should invest in and the things that maybe aren't so worth it. So I can always do one on products that perhaps haven't really worked for us for the past couple of months. Today I just wanted to sit down and talk all things positive about products that we couldn't live without. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So the first category that I'm going to start with is more under the umbrella of entertainment, because obviously entertaining a young one can be difficult at times, especially when you're trying to find out what they like and don't like. You can buy a whole range of products that they might not be interested in, and then in other times things that they absolutely love. So the first thing that Heidi absolutely loves, particularly books, but this style of book is really popular. I know so many other parents love this style of books and little ones do too, and Heidi completely agrees as well. It's the That's Not My Books. We have probably about 10 now. This is just like 4 of the collection that I just picked off from her bookshelf. Some of these ones include That's Not My Baby, That's Not My Unicorn, That's Not My Fairy, and That's Not My Santa. So we really do have quite a range of different ones, and these are really good because they are sensory books. So they have different textures as you go along. Some things can be like a bit rough. Those ones are squashy, fluffy, so it's different things for them to feel and explore. And obviously at this age they're beginning to discover textures and the fact that different things feel differently. It's weird when you see babies start developing understanding of things. It's really strange, and these books are just really good for that. They're so simple. They can obviously turn the pages themselves, they can touch the different elements themselves and start to react to it, which is really nice. Heidi loves it when we read the words. She kind of waits for us to read the words, then she goes in and touches whatever we encourage her to touch. So the different like fuzzy hair, there's some things that she really enjoys touching, such as the like rough ones, and then the fluffy ones she's a bit like hesitant and finds it really weird on her fingers. But these are really good books, and because we've got quite a range of them, they do tend to be a little bit similar kind of throughout, as different shapes and textures and things, but Heidi loves the fact that they're different and they have different words, they have different pictures. Even though the textures might be similar for babies, they are really different, and we're probably going to get more. They're really good because not only good for this age, but also as they get older, when they start to learn to read and so on. They're just really good picture books with different textures. I couldn't recommend them more. People love them for good reason, because baby loves them too, and yeah, we've accidentally started collecting them, so that's great. I did talk about it in my B&M haul video a couple of weeks ago, but I actually saw these for £2.99 in B&M, so they don't have to be expensive. I know in some places they've been like £6 each. Don't pay that amount. Have a look in ASDA, they're normally 2 for £7. My B&M had them for £2.99. You can get bundles on Amazon and eBay and stuff. But yeah, really love these. And I wanted to mention another book that is probably another one of Heidi's favourites. This one is just from Lidl, so you don't have to spend a lot of money for babies to get enjoyment. The best thing at this age is that they have no awareness of anything, and they certainly don't have awareness of monetary value of things. So things that you can get in your local supermarket are really good. And this book I'm sure was like £1.99 from Lidl's, and it's a farmyard book. So I kind of go through, say what they're saying, and then mimic the sounds of the different animals. Heidi absolutely loves this because she likes the fact that I say the words differently, and every time she gets to this page she says duck because she's learned how to say the word duck, which is really, really lovely. So she's starting to associate the word with what it looks like, and obviously that's what you want to do to encourage them to learn. So again, these books are going to be so good for all different ages as she gets older. They're board books, same with the That's Not My One, so they take a lot of beating down, and babies are not gentle, so like paper books are no good for this age because she'll just rip it. She can be quite rough with it and it doesn't matter if it doesn't affect it, and obviously if they get scruffed it doesn't matter, they're just for babies. So again, another one I would really recommend. Keep an eye out on Lidl's, they always do baby events, and things like this is really good. And I know I've spoken a lot about books already, but this is another toy that Heidi absolutely loves. It's just a musical book. These ones have all different things you can interact with within the book itself. It's obviously made of plastic, so it's a lot more hard wearing. Because it sings, you can interact with it. Heidi really, really likes this one. I think she just loves books at the moment. She's in a proper like book phase, which I'm trying to encourage as much as possible because I would love her to stay into books and keep developing that understanding and curiosity to learn with those. So moving on to the next thing under the like entertainment bracket. So this next thing is amazing. It will keep Heidi entertained for so long. She interacts with it herself, she laughs at it, she smiles at it, she'll bring it over to me to start playing with. She loves it. So it's the Scout Bear. Again, I've seen these in B&M for around £10 to £20. I think they vary depending on where you are. This was actually passed down from Rich's sister, who has 2 boys, actually gave this to Heidi because her boys are getting a little bit older. This is really cool because it's personalised, so I'll show you an example.
Hi, Heidi.
So you can actually download an app and put their name into the app and it will say their name, so that's really, really nice in terms of name association. But it just has loads of different songs, the different paws do different things. So this one turns it off and then turns it on and says hello like I just did. This one plays bedtime music. This one has short sayings and this one sings something a little bit longer, and it repeats their name. It's just very familiar. When they play with it for a long time, they just find enjoyment out of it, and because she can actually press the pause down herself, she knows how to change the songs, and she genuinely loves this so much. It's such a good product. And you can also get, I think it's like Violet, which is the like purpley coloured one. This one I guess is the like boys one, the other one's like the girls one, but I don't think it matters. They're babies, it doesn't really matter. She loves this so much, probably one of her favourite toys. This and this one in terms of toys are definitely her favourite, and both of which have been passed down to her from her cousin, so that's really nice. Yeah, absolutely loves it, and I would really recommend it if you know someone that has a baby and you're looking for a gift. Something like this is really cool because it's personalised. It's just so cute. It's unlike anything else she has, and she does love it, so I thought I would mention this. So I'm just going to end the entertainment kind of bracket with bubbles. So simple, but she loves these. If she's having a mini meltdown or she's in a bit of a way where you need to do something that changes her mood straight away, if I start blowing bubbles, she just laughs so much trying to chase them, trying to pop them. If I then balance a bubble on the wand, she pops it herself. She adores bubbles. This pack was like a pack of 5 from Primark for £1. You can get them everywhere pretty much. Really, really affordable, but for them, I think it's just so amazing. It just comes from nowhere and it's so entertaining. So I thought I'd just mention those because she loves them so much. So they're definitely a favourite of mine because I can really rely on them to get her in a better mood. Next up is Weaning, and it's one of those kind of segments that everyone does differently. So you don't need to necessarily read books to understand how to do it. You will learn from your baby. We did baby-led weaning, which I would really, really recommend because Heidi absolutely loved it, and now she's such a good eater because she had that exploration of different foods and it went completely on her terms instead of spoon-led, which I preferred. And it's a bit of a confidence thing because first of all they might kind of choke a little bit or gag a little bit, not choke, gag, but they get more used to it, and I would vouch that it is basically made her such a good eater. So within that, I've discovered a few favourites that I really wanted to share. The first thing is massive. I have here, so professional of me. I'm sure that you've probably seen this in every single other person's videos. It's the IKEA high chair. Why did no one tell me about this before I was pregnant? Because I'll put that down. So I bought a high chair for Heidi before I was pregnant. I found the beautifulest looking one. It was gorgeous, white and grey, kind of chevron patterned. It was a mama and papa's one. It was padded, gorgeous. It totally went for my kitchen decor. However, it is the most impractical thing in the world because food would get stuck to it. The straps were white, so they'd get stained. I'd be bleaching them, putting them in the washing machine like every week. It was such a faff. However, this mighty one, which was like £12 from IKEA, and I vouch it was probably one of the best things that we ever bought. So we actually went on a UK holiday and we stayed in a chalet, and the chalet had one of those high chairs, and on the way back home we actually passed an IKEA, and so we decided to go in purposely to buy that same high chair because my life changed when I realised you can just wipe the surface and be done. You don't have to be picking food out of the high chair like crevices. You don't need to be bleaching the straps. It was just such a faff. For me, it felt like it was designed by someone that didn't have a baby because it was so impractical. Beautiful looking, just so impractical. It was just like such a waste of money. Luckily, I managed to sell it on a local Facebook page for £30, so I got a bit of money back. But that high chair is a godsend. I would recommend it to everyone. Don't get sucked into the pretty looking high chairs because that does it all, honestly. And you can get like a cushion cover for when they're smalls, when they're starting to support their back if you want them to have extra protection. But for us, that is just perfect as it is. Because we started using it when Heidi was that little bit older, she didn't need that cushion backing, and it's a dream. It's honestly so easy. So that is something that I would recommend to everyone. You can order it online, you just pay postage from IKEA, you can get it in store, they have like millions there. So honestly, it's changed my life for the better. So that's like the first recommendation. If anyone tells me they're pregnant, I'm like, get the IKEA high chair because it's life-changing. So on the topic of weaning, cutlery. Heidi doesn't permanently use cutlery because we're starting to introduce it now, because when we did baby-led weaning, she used her hands to feed herself. She developed that hand-mouth coordination very quickly because she just really kind of took off with baby-led weaning, which was amazing. However, this cutlery by Nubby or Nubby is just so good. I'll just show you there, but they are basically soft gripped handles, and obviously the cutlery itself is quite good in size. It just means that they can have a good grip when they're like trying to use it and learn how to actually do it and it not slip everywhere. These I just thought were the best cutlery that I've seen for a child to use, and they were really inexpensive. I think about £2, £3 from Home Bargains, which is where we got them from. So I wanted to mention those because whilst Heidi is learning to use cutlery, she's kind of getting to grips with those, so I just thought that I'd mention them. And the kind of last product for weaning is this plate. I saw this all over Instagram. I thought, I'm not going to be sucked into buying a £15 plate for my baby because it's not going to be worth it. And then I did. I got sucked into that Instagram mum hole that drags you in and makes you believe that you need a bamboo plate for your child to eat out of because it will provide them the best experience. I have zero regret. This is the best plate I have ever used for Heidi. We started off with a cheaper alternative one from eBay. It was rubbish. She pulled it off, she could throw it, her food went everywhere, and it was just such a struggle at meal times because you're trying to fight to keep the plate down so that she'll eat her food. She realises what she's doing, so she's laughing at it, and it was just such a pain. So this I bought mainly for people saying that the suction on this was second to none, which is what I wanted. I wanted one that had a reliable suction so that when it was on the IKEA high chair, it wasn't moving anywhere. And this is so good. This is the 3 Division 1. Bamboo do so many different plates and bowls. You can get ones in the shape of animals, which I was going to get, but then I saw this one and I thought practically this one would be so much better for us. You can choose the colour of the like suction, so you can get blue, pinks, orange, yellow, things like that. But let me tell you, this is like the best £15 I ever spent. Rich was horrified when I told him how much this was, because he was like, we haven't even spent that much money on our plates. But this is so good. So I'll probably actually end up buying a bowl too, because we're getting to the stage where we're doing like pasta things and like she's eating cereal and stuff. So something that's more bowl shaped would be better for her now. So I feel like I'm going to add that to the collection. But needless to say, this is one of the best purchases that we've got. She doesn't pull off the suction. The suction is really, really good. Just make sure that nothing's underneath that's like stopping the suction from taking place. The only thing you can't dishwash these because it is made out of bamboo, but the reason for that is that it's more sustainable. There's going to be less plastic in landfill, and you can also get bamboo cutlery on their website. And like I said, so many different designs, but I just love this so much. I thought I might have regretted spending so much money on a plate, but I don't. I really would recommend this because I feel like you buy cheap, you buy twice with other places, whereas this is genuinely like the best plate I've ever bought. I've become that person that is obsessed with the plates I buy my baby, but honestly couldn't recommend this company enough. Really, really good, really quick delivery. You can get like 10% codes off and stuff, so it makes it a little bit better. But yeah, I'm gonna add the bowl to our collection soon too, but I just thought I'd mention this because it is so good. And then in terms of drinking, as soon as they get to 6 months, I think you can start giving them water to drink, as like when you're introducing meals and stuff, which is exactly what we did. And this Munchkin Straw Cup means that Heidi drinks probably 2 to 3 of these a day, which is really, really good. She couldn't quite get to grips with the sippy cups that you lift up and suck to get the water out. So many people have different opinions about straw cups because they think that it might affect them drinking normally when they get older, but I don't think it's going to be a problem, honestly. I just feel like she drinks a lot of water now. She does suffer with quite a bit of constipation, so she needs to make sure that she's having enough water. So something that I know that works, I'm just going to stick with. And so these are really good. She can hold them with a handle. She drinks them really well. Like I said, she drinks about 2 to 3 of them a day. So just thought I'd mention that because it's one of those products that she kind of just used from 6 months and has continued to use and has just loved. So that's really good. A quick notion to clothing. There's not that much to talk about here really, but I just wanted to talk about my favourite places to buy certain things from because I have developed favourites very quickly. And generally to buy her everyday clothes, so like dresses, outfits, things like that, I love H&M. You can order online, you can obviously go to a store if you're close to one, whereas I'm not, so I have to order everything online, but that's fine because it's so affordable. If you're a H&M member, you get free delivery, which I don't pay delivery for anything. I'm so tight when it comes to delivery, so the fact I get free delivery is really good. They do like member offers, so you often get 10%, 15% off, stuff like that. Something like this is from H&M. And it's just such good quality. It's like got a proper thickness to it. It's not a thin cotton type of material. This is just, especially in this kind of weather that we've been having at the moment, you need something that is genuinely going to keep them warm. It isn't going to break quickly. This is a top that she's worn quite a lot and it just washes so well. I can't rave enough about H&M clothes for her, and I am doing orders on there way more often than I should because all of their clothes are just adorable. They do Disney stuff, they do plain dresses, like their dresses are about £3 something, so it's almost like cheaper than Primark, but for me I feel like the quality is second to none. Really, really good. And it's really nice clothes but at a really good price, so obviously I'm going to recommend them. And another place I really like shopping for baby clothes is ASDA. I feel like they get a really good range of stuff in. The one I am closest to isn't the biggest ASDA in the world, so we don't get a huge variety, but the stuff we do get is always really nice. This particular coat is from ASDA. So this is a raincoat that's obviously got a hood and it's like a waterproof or showerproof material. Really love this coat. The reason I mention this one particularly is because she had this in the size 9 to 12, and then she's also got it in 12 to 18 because we loved it so much. It's such a good coat, and again, you can almost tell it was designed by someone that had a child, because there's a degree of like flexibility with everything, so it's not too hard to get on. It's really easy to put on for them, and it feels really comfy. It's lined inside, so it will keep them warm, especially when it's just cold outside. And yeah, we just really love this. Again, really affordable, but really good quality. This washes really well too. Yeah, really recommend. ASDA and H&M are probably my two favourite places to buy stuff for her. ASDA's really good for sleep suits too. I don't tend to buy them from H&M. I normally buy her like general clothes from H&M, and then sleep suits, Primark and ASDA, I feel like you can't really beat. And another thing, now these are potentially my favourite thing that I have used on Heidi and has just been like the best thing ever. Sock-ons. If you've not heard of sock-ons, you need these in your life. Trust me, this is like the 4th pair that we've bought, because I'm that person that puts them in a safe place and I can't remember what that safe place is. So we do go through these quite quickly because I'm just useless at remembering where I put them, but I can't live without them. So Amazon Prime, next day delivery, these are back in my like hands, because basically they do exactly what they say on the label. They keep your little one's socks on. Heidi, like every baby, if you put socks on, we'll pull them off, throw them away. And especially when it's cold indoors, you don't want them walking around barefoot. In the summer, it's a lot different, but in the autumn and winter, and even in this really cold springtime, sock-ons are so good for keeping your little one's socks on. And they're simple, they literally wrap around the sock, just like they look like here. They just go on their feet like that. Super simple. These ones are $3.99. Love them. I honestly could not live without them. Rich's sister never used them for her boys, said that she wished she did because they are literally revolutionary. I am just going to touch on some random last bits because there's not much to talk about. I realise I've been talking for so long. Because I've not done this video in so long, I feel like I need to like catch up with everything. The bottles that we ended up using all throughout the last couple of months are the Dr. Brown's ones. You might have noticed that we've taken the green colic thing out from it. As soon as she stopped suffering with colic, we took that out because we found that they were just a bit easier without that. They tended to leak with the colic thing, and even though you replace them, they became a bit of a pain. And I feel like my struggle with bottles, I felt like I was in a despair on what bottles to use. We went through Tommy Tippy ones, Man ones, Tommy Tippy anti-colic ones, those Dr. Brown's ones, and then those ones kind of started to leak and I just didn't know what to do. So as soon as we took out the colic inserts off this, these work absolutely fine, especially if she's just having 2 milk bottles a day now, one to assist her afternoon nap and one before she goes to bed. These are really good. I think it's just because they act like a normal bottle, but she's so used to the teat here that she doesn't drink it too quick, she doesn't throw up. So these have been the bottles that we've been using, and for our next one I'll probably just buy those bottles again and just hope that we don't have the same issues we had with those ones. The same thing with nappies. We've used the same nappies actually since she's been born, and we used up all the different like sample ones we had. I touched on this I think in my newborn favourites, but I thought I'd touch on them again. Lidl's nappies. These are the Loopy Loo ones from Lidl's. You get a pack of like 70 something for £4.80 or around that price point. The cheapest nappies ever, but honestly the best for Heidi. She has really sensitive skin, and we found that when we used Pampers they irritated her and gave her nappy rash. Huggies the same. We had to stop using the ones that we got given with those, and we've just gone back to Lidl's ones. We used Lidl's ones when she was first born because I took them in my hospital bag, and we've just continued using them because they are so good. And like I said, because she has sensitive skin, we have to be careful about what we use. These are really good. She's currently on size 5s. I just remember how small the size 1s were, and these just feel huge in comparison. But I really like those. The same with Lidl's wet wipes. I feel like they're just simple and work really well. Penultimate random thing that I'm going to talk about in this video is Vaseline. More specifically, the huge tub that we got from the pound shop. This is just petroleum jelly, but it's basically Vaseline, it's the same thing. And what we do on this is, because like I said, she has sensitive skin, when we change her bum, we tend to put a bit of this on around like her areas so that it prevents kind of rash and rubbing. We found that putting this on as a preventative instead of something else to cure nappy rash has been really good. And if she's having a bit of a phase where she's a little bit more constipated, we find that this really does help to settle any redness that she might have. So yeah, £1 for this huge tub. It's like 375 grams. But again, I feel like that and Vaseline worked exactly the same for us. So I'm going to recommend the thing that is cheapest because it's what I love. And the final thing is probably kind of the most random, but one of those things that I just really want to stress to people, because this time goes so quickly. I can vouch for everyone that said to me, enjoy those newborn cuddles, because before you know it, they're up and walking around and doing their own thing, and it's just scary. So with that in mind, I always make sure that I get photos printed, and so I use Snapfish. I downloaded the app. You get 50 free prints a month, kind of every month, and you just pay £3.50 postage and you get 50 prints. So I think that that's a really, really good deal. Every single month since she's been born, I print off photos, and I'm now on my second photo album that stores 600 photos, because for me it's really important to print everything. Everything that you take on your phone, unless you do something with it, I just feel like it's a waste just sat on my phone. I don't typically scroll through my phone that much, whereas having them printed, I can actually look through the photo album, we can see how quickly she's changed. And the lovely thing about the first one I did is that it started the day she was born, and then it actually ended on her first birthday. So I feel like that is like a really lovely start and end to the year. So the same with the next one. I just took a couple of my favourite photos that we've got printed. So this one was from her first birthday, so cute. This one here is of her and her biggest cousin Riley. They get on so well, and that photo for me is just probably one of my favourite photos because it just captures the love that they have for each other. And then this one here is one of the three of us on Christmas Day. And it's one of those things that, yeah, it looks great on your phone, but there's nothing better than having physical copies of photos. I said to Rich, if ever our house went up in flames, grab the photo albums and I'll grab Heidi, because they're so special to me. Because I just think, I know that like growing up, I love going through my parents' photo albums, and I hope that she'll do the same. And because we tend to take so many photos, but it's almost like you don't then do anything with them, I feel like printing off my favourites from the month just makes the best memories. And I just love it so much. So that's my final recommendation. I know this video is really, really long, but I wanted to sit down and share those favourites with you because I haven't done so, and I should have, and I shouldn't have let them mount up to the point that they have. But I hope this video has helped any mums that are approaching the next stage in your baby's age. How exciting. I honestly love the age that Heidi's at now. She's really settled into a routine, including the routine that we have whilst I'm at work. I feel generally more balanced for that too, so I feel a bit more myself compared to when I was on maternity leave, and it just didn't feel quite the same. I feel like I've got a bit of me back, and we've just found that these products work so well. And yeah, I just thought I'd sit down and share those with you. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe down below for more videos, much the same, but hopefully less rambly from me in the future. Maybe I might make a bit more of an effort next time too, because I just shoved this like dressing gown hoodie on because it's so comfy and my house is so cold at the moment. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.